for introduction, the series that our group chose for this video critic assessment is the series of Suits. As in this series, we can witness a lot of examples of workplace communication, whether in negative or positive aspects of communication. So for introduction,
great leadership is when leaders believe in the greatness in those below them and to the side of them. Delegating greatly.
Are you having a stroke?
Quoting Churchill.
Really? Because it sounds more like you're quoting yourself.
Well, Churchill and me, same difference. The point is that Thomas Kessler has a contract that he needs to get out of, and you are the best man for the job.
Donna told you to delegate, didn't she?
No, not maybe. Yeah, she did. The truth is, you are the best man for the job, with the exception of me.
Louis, if you don't want to give me the
reason I think I'm better is Thomas Kessler. He's one of my oldest clients. We don't get him out of this, he goes out of business. If it were me, there is nothing I wouldn't do to keep that from happening.
Louis, I hear you loud and clear. I don't care what it takes. This man is not going out of business.
Thank you, Alex.
in scene 1, we can witness that there is positive communications that is happening between the managing partner, Louis, and Alex, when Louis asked Alex to handle a client for him. And this indicates that there is a healthy communication and positive communication going on between the two colleagues when asking for help from each other. And the cause and effect of this scene is that we can learn that there is a very positive communications between the two when communicating their needs and what they need help with, which is a very good sign of a healthy work environment. The recommendations that can be made for this scene is that to keep on having a very healthy communication between colleagues when asking for help, and also it would be much better if colleagues are much respectful and polite when asking for help from one another to maintain the professional relationship between one another.
What are those, my walking papers?
Rigoletto tickets. Best in the house. I know Laura's a fan.
I wish these were my walking papers.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
I'm just kidding, Louis. This is a wonderful gesture. You mind if I ask what it's for?
I know that it couldn't have been easier for you stepping down for me, so I just wanted to show you how much I appreciate it.
Thank you, Louis. This means a lot.
Louis, Gretchen texted you wanted to see me.
Yeah, I wanted to see how it went with Stephen Palmer.
How do you think it went? I got him on the 1-yard line.
Harvey, English, please. You know I don't know baseball.
In that case, the fat lady's singing.
That's music to my ears. Should I lob in a call to get her to wrap it up?
Not necessary, Louis.
I got it. You're all over it. I won't push. Robert, enjoy the ticks. Gentlemen.
Fat lady's singing my ass.
Excuse me?
Yeah, the only 1-yard line you're on is your own.
How do you know that?
Because it's a lot easier to tell someone's lying when they're lying to someone else.
Well, for your information, I'm not really lying because it doesn't matter what yard line, I'm landing this guy.
Boy, I am glad I'm not managing you anymore because that is some prime cut Harvey Specter bullshit. Speaking of fat ladies, you want these opera tickets? Because there's no way I'm letting Laura drag me into another 4-hour snooze fest.
I don't really.
Yeah, that's a good man.
In the second scene, we can see a critical conflict when Harvey did not tell the truth to the managing partner, which is Louis, about signing the new client, as he had lied to Louis about when Louis asked to him about the updates of signing the new client. And Harvey had acted untruthful towards the situation and lied about signing the client towards Louis. This has caused the people around him to have negative impact, as well as the people around him needed to lie for him to cover his tracks on signing the new client. In fact, it also created a misunderstanding between Louis and the other partners in the firm, as Louis was confident that Harvey had signed the client, which causes a misunderstanding and causes conflict between the two. The recommendations that can be made is that there should be honesty and transparency between colleagues, as it ensures that there will be no misunderstanding between the two, and to ensure that the process in the organization is smooth and transparent.
Alex, where you been? I've been looking for you all day.
I'll tell you where I've been. I was out getting screwed by Winthrop Hotels and figuring out what to do about it.
What do you mean getting screwed?
I mean, I went in there with a dozen win-win offers, and they shot down every one.
What'd threaten litigation?
I threatened him with everything but the kitchen sink. But the fact is, this contract's airtight and they know it.
And what exactly are you going to do about it? Because if Thomas has to honor that contract, he's out of business.
No, Louis, he's not.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about slicing and dicing.
You want to run that by me again?
Slicing and dicing.
You know, I know what slicing and dicing is, Alex. Are you telling me that your big idea is to split his commercial division from his retail? Because I told you the survival of his company was important to me.
I know that, Louis, but this is the only way out.
Cutting someone's arm off is not a way out.
It is if their life depends on it. And this way we have a chance to get Winthrop back to the table before we cut anything off.
Alex, listen to me. We're not going back to Thomas saying, congratulations, now you're a three-legged dog.
And I'm telling you, this is the only play.
You know what? This was a mistake. I take.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Alex, where you been? I've been looking for you all day.
I'll tell you where I've been. I was out getting screwed by Winthrop Hotels and figuring out what to do about it.
What do you mean getting screwed?
I mean, I went in there with getting screwed by.
I think there's only one way to find out. And for the record, my playbook is a lot deeper than just Samantha Wheel. Exactly what I'm saying.
Alex, where you been? I've been looking for you all day.
I'll tell you where I've been. I was out getting screwed by Winthrop Hotels and figuring out what to do about it.
What do you mean getting screwed?
I mean, I went in there with a dozen win-win offers, and they shot down every one.
Would you threaten litigation?
I threatened them with everything but the kitchen sink. But the fact is, this contract's airtight and they know it.
And what exactly are you going to do about it? Because if Thomas has to honor that contract, he's out of business.
No, Louis, he's not.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about slicing and dicing.
You want to run that by me again?
Slicing and dicing.
You know, I know what slicing and dicing is, Alex. Are you telling me that your big idea is to split his commercial division from his retail? Because I told you the survival of his company was important to me.
I know that, Louis, but this is the only way out.
Cutting someone's arm off is not a way out.
It is if their life depends on it. And this way we have a chance to get Winthrop back to the table before we cut anything off.
Alex, listen to me. We are not going back to Thomas saying, congratulations, now you're a three-legged dog.
And I'm telling you, this is the only play.
You know what? This was a mistake. I take full responsibility for it. Things were fine the way they were, and I do not want them to change.
Louis, it doesn't matter whether you handle this or I do.
God damn it, Alex. It may be the only play for you, but it is not for me. Now, I told you I would do anything to keep him alive, and it's going to start with me taking back this case.
The critical incident in the third scene can be seen during the conflict between Alex and Louis when they both had an argument whether as Louis did not agree with Alex's solution on the problems faced by the clients, and they had an argument because Louis thought that there would be a better solution on the problem. The effect of this is that it creates a bad environment for the colleague in the office, in the workplace, due to the argument, and also it creates a bad impression on the colleague. The recommendations that can be made is that to be more professional when dealing with conflicts at the workplace. You should confront the person one-to-one and find a more professional and respectful way of to solve an argument as to avoid conflicts in the workplace.
Alex Williams.
Depends who's asking.
My name is Stephen Faulkner, and I'm with the New York Bar. I wanted to talk about what you did at that hearing yesterday.
I did what anybody would have done.
All the same, you showed a lot of courage exposing your partner. Robert Zane's a legend. That couldn't have been easy.
It wasn't.
Well, the bar noticed, which is why I'm here to discuss the next step, removing Zane's name from your letterhead.
What? Why do we do that?
Because the man broke privilege and put your firm in a position to start hemorrhaging clients.
And since when are our clients the business of the state bar?
Your clients aren't, but your firm's character is.
Look, I know what Robert did was unethical, but it was one mistake. We're talking about a man's legacy.
And leaving his name up doesn't just hurt the legacy of your firm, it's hurting the integrity of the bar.
And what if I don't see it that way? More importantly, what if my partners don't? Because it's not my call.
Let's just say it would be to everyone's benefit if you and your partners take that name down of your own accord.
Here in this scene, we can see an example of negative aspect of confrontational communication. So in this scene, Alex was confronted by a member of the New York bar, Stephen Faulkner. Stephen Faulkner interrupts Alex's morning job and becomes confrontational. Stephen, in that situation, implies that Alex has to remove a member of his firm, Zane. He also hinted that if his firm did not do something about it, the New York bar will take action. So the cause of this confrontation or this communication is that this puts Alex in a dilemma on whether he has to take action or to not take action. In this juncture, he also has to choose between choosing his friends and boss or the image of the firm. The communication had in this interaction is passive aggressive communication, as Alex shows a calm demeanor while also being worried that his firm is put into jeopardy because of Zane. So my recommendation for this scene is that it can be made more professional when it comes to confrontations. We can see that the approach happened when someone was in the middle of their morning jog, which is inappropriate for to discuss about work. What should happen is to have confrontations in the office or somewhere more appropriate where people are not being caught off guard. So if there is an issue to be brought up, the consideration of time and place is also very important.
I figured you guys would be too busy cleaning up Robert's mess to come play hockey.
Cut the shit, Eric. We know you're going after Robert's clients.
It's funny, when I first started whispering that Robert was stepping down, nobody believed me, but now they think I'm a regular Nostradamus.
And if you think we're just gonna stand by and let you raid our kitchen, you've been checked into the boards one too many times.
I think I cannot believe that she's fighting your fight.
It's not his fight, Eric. It's all of ours.
Yeah, if you say so. But if it wasn't for old Harvey here, Robert's clients would still be at your firm. And in case you hadn't noticed, so would Robert.
And you can try to drive a wedge between us all you want. It's not gonna work.
So why don't you go ahead and tell us what's it gonna take for you to back off Robert's clients?
Hey, well, if I can't drive a wedge, I can't drive a wedge. But what it's going to take for me to back off your hero's clients is for old Harvey here to give me 10 of his. Oh, well, look at that. Maybe I did drive a wedge. You keep hitching your wagon to the wrong man, Sweet Pea.
You didn't drive a wedge between anything, you piece of shit.
Here in the fifth scene, we can see the negative aspect of intimidation. So my recommendation for this scene is for Eric, the aggressor in this case, is to not take advantage of another's downfall for your own gain. We can see that he is constantly putting down and condescending the other party in order to make them feel more angered and pressured. And to not another remark is to not make sexist remarks in attempt to dominate the other party. We can see him calling Samantha names in order to incite anger within her. And finally, is to not resort to violence in response to intimidation. So in that situation, it is better to remain calm and professional and not to lay hands, as it can have negative repercussions.
Well, look what the cat dragged in.
You're backing off, and you're backing off now.
Whose am I getting, Robert's or yours? Wait, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I want to guess this one.
They're mine.
Wow, I would have totally gotten that wrong. You must really be hating this right now. What did she do to convince you?
Why don't you just take your win and go home, Eric?
It's no fun winning if you can't rub it in. I mean, I knew she had Zane wrapped around her little finger. I just didn't...
Finish that sentence, Eric. Go ahead, finish that sentence.
I'll treat him well.
You do that. And don't you ever say another word about Robert again.
For the final and sixth scene, we can see the negative aspect of condescendingness in this scene. So the analysis is that in this scene, backed into a corner with no way to convince the clients to not jump ship, Harvey assigns his clients to Caldor. We can see him doing this reluctantly and with a heavy heart. So in this scene, Eric also uses this opportunity to beat Harvey when he is down. Eric implies that Harvey is beneath Samantha, when in fact he was giving away his clients to protect his colleagues and his firm. The cause and effect of this scene is that Eric gloating was with the mere intention to annoy Harvey and to rub salt in his wounds, to further beat him down at his lowest. Eric also emasculates Harvey with his demeanor and sarcasm. But at the end of the day, Harvey was okay with doing what he did to protect his friends, colleagues, and his firm. So my recommendation for this final scene is to not rub salt into someone's wound in spite of them. What should be done is just to act things professionally and to say thank you when someone of an opponent firm, and to have healthy competition. And finally, to not annoy a person despite them being a competitor, and maintain professionalism in every aspect. In conclusion, displays both positive and negative aspects of communication which we can adopt into our daily lives. Suits teaches us on how conflicts can be resolved by way of negotiations, how to handle intimidation and confrontations, and also ways to maintain composure in high intensity situations. Though the show is highly dramatized, it is still rooted in reality. These are all aspects and lessons useful for future employment. And because this is a workplace drama involving lawyers with high stakes, the way I would do things differently is to tone down the sarcasm, aggressive, and also passive aggressive communication used in the show. In Malaysia, this behavior would be less palpable and will invite unwanted criticism. And that being said, this show comes highly recommended. Thank you so much for watching.